Hi, welcome to another episode of CITAM ChurchOnline. My name is Richard Oketch, and today we are going to be talking about wisdom in character. Now, wisdom is basically the right application of knowledge. Character is a sum total of your experiences, your mindset, and your belief systems that bring out who you are as a person. Wisdom in character is an interesting subject because many people do not understand who they are. Sometimes you're in a process of finding yourself, as many young people are into the journey of life and thinking about, I really am trying to figure myself out and understand where I am at in life. But now, something important that we need to understand is the role of wisdom in character throughout all this. Our character is formed by our experiences, by the people we grew up around, and by the things we internalize and personalize as our own. It is a sum total also of our behavior and the things that we do and think about, because that affects our interactions with others and our actions as individuals. When we think about wisdom, it is basically, as I said earlier, the right application of knowledge. What do you know about yourself that affects your character? Character is who you are when no one else is around. When you are all alone, by yourself, by your thoughts, who are you? It's not an easy question to answer. I remember one of the most difficult yet simple questions in life I have ever had an encounter with is when someone asks you to tell them about yourself. I mean, you know who you are, you know yourself, but to explain to someone who you truly are takes a lot of thinking, and the thought process might be daunting. But in our character, we need not take too much time to think about who we are as we think about our character. One thing that is important for us to understand when it comes to wisdom and character is that God is very, very intentional about our character. He wants us to walk upright and live lives that are holy and set apart for Him. Our character is influenced by the decisions we make as individuals and when we are alone, especially with regards to our salvation, because that is the main reason why we're here. We need to understand that the decisions you make, the people you talk to, how we engage with one another, really affects who we are as individuals and in our character. Our character is something that is going to affect us in the long run, regardless of your status in society, regardless of your reputation, and regardless of how many people like you and how many people have followed you on Twitter or like your Instagram photos. Character goes beyond the public eye. Character is who you truly are as an individual. For us as young people, many people think that reputation supersedes character. There are a lot of people who have quote-unquote made it in life, and there are people we aspire to be like. But remember, there are certain character flaws that they've had that have come out, and it taints their reputation completely. One very major person I can think about is Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods was the best golfer of his generation. Some people considered him one of the best of all time. But one incident brought out a chain of events that led to his character being brought into question, and it affected his career up until this very moment. He has not been able to hit the highs that he had hit when he was at the peak of his career, and when all these issues were brought forth and his character was brought into question, we clearly see the effect that it had on him as an individual and in his reputation and in his walk of life and how people treated him. For us, we may not be that famous and we're thinking, yeah, I'll probably get away with it. Not many people know me. I only have, less than 1,000 followers on IG and a few hundreds of followers on Twitter, and not that many people like my Facebook posts and my comments anyway. So you think, yeah, I can get away with it. Reputation isn't everything. Remember, what you should be thinking about is how your character affects your relationship with people. consider relationship over reputation. Your relationship is how you interact with others, and the most important relationship is your reverence to God and your relationship with Him. Character is influenced by those two. Your relationship with God affects your relationship with others. When your relationship with God is right, you will see a difference in how you interact with the people. You will have the right knowledge in your interactions with people because your character will be in tune with the character of God. You will have the audacity to say no when everyone else is saying yes, especially if it is matters that concern your well-being and the state of your heart, and importantly, the things that God requires of you in this life. Many times you have heard of people giving in to peer pressure and saying, you know what, I just couldn't help myself. And then we have this thing called FOMO, where it's a fear of missing out. You don't want to miss out on the latest buzz. You don't want to miss out on the latest events, gigs, and trends and what people are talking about. And you feel, you know, if I don't live up to the hype, what will people think about me? Don't think about that much. It is important for you to understand that God wants you to have a mindset that is like Him. He is not that popular when it comes to trends. He is not that popular when it comes to going with the flow, because what He stands for requires us to stand out from the crowd. And this calls for character. You need a bold character if you are to say no towards certain trends and habits. You need wisdom if you are to decipher what is important and what is urgent for your life and the different stages that we're in. In our interactions in the workplace, in our interactions with people in school, in our interactions with our siblings and people older than us, our peers and those younger than us, it is important for us to realize that character is truly shaped when no one else is watching. But the most important person watching on you at that time is God. So it is important for you to get your relationship with God in tune, and that way you'll be able to have the wisdom to shape your character into a character that God is going to be happy with. It is important for us to forget about our reputation. The reputational risks that we incur on this earth do not match even a single bit to what we stand to gain when we stand in front of Christ and He says, "Well done, good and faithful servant." So please have that wisdom. And the book of James tells us very clearly that if you lack wisdom and you feel you're struggling with wisdom, ask God for wisdom. Pray about it. Solomon could have asked for anything in the world. God gave him basically an open check. He could have asked for anything in the world, but he asked for wisdom. And because of asking for that wisdom, he acquired so much in this life. He achieved so much that I don't think anyone else in history, in the present or in the future, is able to rival Solomon in terms of his achievements. So it is important for us to understand that our character is who we are when no one else is watching, but remember, God is watching. Your integrity might be brought into question, but if you have godly wisdom, you will know what to say, you will know how to act, and you will know how to respond. And lastly, remember, reputation is not everything. It is the relationship that you have with God and the relationship that you have with others that will affect you more. So don't give in to the hype. Don't think too much about your reputation. Think, what would Jesus think about me? What would Jesus want? How would God require me to respond and behave given the different situations that I am in? I'm Richard Oketch, and you have been watching CITAM Church Online, and this is Youth Cafe. As always, we'd like to interact with you more. We have Instagram, we have Twitter, we have Facebook. We are also on YouTube. So please send in your compliments, send in your comments, send in your questions. We'd like to engage with you. If you have different issues that you'd also like us to discuss, please send them in. We are always open, we're always ready and willing to interact with you and ensure that we gain something from one another in this walk of life. If you're looking for a church to fellowship in, our CITAM assemblies are always open, ready, and we would like to have you join our fold. For those of you who can get to CITAM Valley Road, that's where I fellowship. We have 2 services every Sunday. The two family services that we have are at 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. and the second one is from 11:30 to 1:30 p.m. For the youth, we have the youth service at the youth hall from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. and for the teenagers, we have Teens Cafe from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. We really hope to see you there.